I want us to make a very clear distinction between ionic and molecular compounds. Ionic compounds, like their not terribly creative name suggests, are made of ions. So there's metal ions, non-metal ions, or polyatomic ions. In an ionic compound, there's an exchange of electrons to create an ionic bond. So one of the atoms loses electrons, another gains electrons, and this creates a bond because if you have something that's positive and something that's negative, they're going to be attracted to each other. For molecular compounds, these are nonmetals only. So that's why I've said many times that it's important to know which ones your nonmetals are. In nonmetal compounds, you can share electrons, so there's a covalent bond. So that means that the same electron is being shared between two atoms. And actually, it's not just the same electron, but these are pairs of electrons. In a molecular compound, we use very different naming. Everything works very different from ionic compounds because they react so differently, they're bound differently. Everything about this is different. Two nonmetal elements can combine in a variety of different ways. So we're going to have to use prefixes to distinguish our structures. So what that means is, for example, if we have mono, means one. So mono is our prefix. We often will leave this off. Most compounds that have just one will leave off the mono prefix. The major example, we'll look at some examples of that do use mono. Di for 2, tri 3, tetra 4, penta 5, hexa 6, hepta 7, octa 8. So the way this works, if we have carbon tetrachloride, we have 1 carbon and 4 chlorides, or chlorine atoms, so CCl4. Nitrogen oxide, which could also, you could also write as mononitrogen monoxide, but we pretty much always leave off those monos, is NO, versus nitrogen dioxide. There's 2 oxides, so 1 nitrogen, 2 oxides. SF6 here, this would give us sulfur, six is hexa, so hexa, and F is fluoride, LUORIDE. CO here is one of the exceptions that does use mono, and you're familiar with this probably, carbon monoxide. And that distinguishes it from carbon dioxide. There's more practice in lab and nomenclature or in your relevant other assignments if you are not in a lab course.